I was born in a family with very abusive parents. And as I was growing up, I was like, I do not want to be a mother. Okay. And then when I got into college, I thought, I really want to be a mother. That's why I gave up my scholarship, because I wasn't sure I could be a good mother and be a doctor at the same time. Okay. And so then when I met my daughter's dad, we started trying to have children, and suddenly we could not get pregnant. And let me tell you how many nights I had all of these arguments with God. I'm a very strong Christian. And I was just like, God, are you kidding me? Like, my mom had all these kids and she never should have had kids. Why can I not have kids? Right. And I finally got pregnant, and my first child was stillborn, and it was so horrible. And then my second child was born with a severe brain disorder. And that was, had a lot to do with why her dad and I divorced. And so when she was 2 years old, I made the decision that I was going back to school to get my engineering degree at Georgia Tech with a special needs 2-year-old, because that's what people do, right? And so many people said to me, people said when I dropped my scholarship to begin with, they were like, you'll never graduate from college. And they were wrong. And when I went back to school with my special needs daughter to Georgia Tech, they were like, you will never graduate. And they were wrong. I graduated with highest honors. I was president of BMES. I was on the student advisory board. I won a lot of awards. I interviewed for 3 jobs, and I got all 3 of the jobs. But it was hard. And I think the reality is that I also was very determined. And one thing that I have always been able to do is just continue to make the next best decision that I could make. Now, I've made a lot of really poor decisions in life. I have a lot of failed relationships and a lot of things I look back at, and I'm like, not really sure why I made that decision. However, I haven't sat in that and really lived in that memory of the poor decision for too long. I've gotten up and said, okay, what am I going to do next? And I'm going to focus on today, and I'm going to do the best I absolutely can today. And for my daughter, for her, what I did is I was just like, when I was at school at Georgia Tech, she was having physical, speech, and occupational therapy 3 times a week. And so I often wasn't working on my homework or my projects until she went to bed at 8 or 9 at night. And I was doing research in a lab in order to make additional money. I floated most of my education on credit cards, from one credit card to the next. So when I came out of school, I had $80,000 or $90,000 worth of credit card debt that I had to pay off to do it. So I did what I had to do to get done what I had to get done. And I pushed her as much as I could to get done what she needed to get done. And I loved her as much as I could. Now, I am a mother, and I've never met a mother who didn't say, I wish I had loved my child more, or I wish I had provided more research. I wish I had, etc. Right? I still fall into those categories. So there are still days I think I could have done this better or whatnot. But I'm also, just like I said a moment ago, I'm not living in those moments of regret. I'm moving forward and just continually trying to do the best that I can, and continue to be a good role model to her, and continuing to say the thing, like say, I love you, and live that life for her. So that's what I did then, was continue to role model, love, and support the best way that I, Ange, could do for her.